Our last story tonight is about rivalry. It is just as inevitable as it is important. Countries have gone to war over it, that's not important. Companies have spouted inventions. Movies have become blockbusters. But perhaps some of the greatest, most interesting rivalries are those between siblings. Cain and Abel, Prince William and Prince Harry, Kim and Kourtney Kardashian, Dexter and Dee Dee. The examples are everywhere, maybe even in your own family. Being a sibling is a fight for survival. When siblings clash, worlds hang in the balance. And important questions are raised like who started the fight, who is in the right, who is the favorite? And maybe the biggest question here is it okay for siblings to squabble? Should siblings be each other's arch enemies? Science has the answer. And this will be news to parents tired of beseeching unruly kids. Sibling rivalry is good for your children. Siblings teach each other how to live with other people, how to work with them. They also provide a crash course on managing emotions like envy, hatred, and anger. Think of it as an early on-the-job training, and research says the benefits are plenty. Sibling rivalries boost mental and emotional development. They increase maturity, enhance social skills like negotiating, persuading, and problem solving, and teach lessons on the subtleties of language. In other words, fighting among siblings is not just inevitable, it can be educational. Of course, if the rivalry gets out of hand, things can get ugly. But if managed well, this rivalry doesn't just leave a positive impact on early development, it is also good for sibling relationships. Research says it strengthens the bond. Children who pick on each other at home are more likely to have each other's back in public. So children can be arch enemies at home, but allies in the world. It can be confusing because sibling bonds are more complex than we'd imagine. When screaming matches between kids reach operatic levels, it is tough to know why they fight, especially because siblings fight so much. Sibling conflict can happen up to 8 times in an hour. The more combative the siblings, the more they argue. And this is more common when kids are of the same gender, and even more when they're less than 2 years apart. And what do they fight about? By the looks of it, everything. A new toy, food, clothes. But siblings aren't fighting for these actual things. Their rivalry serves a developmental purpose, says science. It is called differentiation. It helps children figure out what is special about themselves because children want to be the most special to their parents. For instance, if the elder sibling is a cricket star, the younger will either avoid the sport completely or try to be better at a different cricketing skill than the sibling. This may be so that they get preferential treatment, but it helps shape personalities and interests. It boosts their careers and makes the younger siblings more likely to succeed in some cases. So does the rivalry ever end? It is the worst in early and middle childhood. The conflict decreases into adolescence, and in most cases, it levels off. This strengthens connection well into adulthood, and sibling relationships begin to boost overall well-being. But just because the conflict's reduced to a bare minimum doesn't mean the sense of competition really goes away. Kind of like handing your sibling the drink that is less full, or being okay donating a kidney but not sharing a phone charger. This is just a fact of life, but at least it makes for decent memes that you can passive-aggressively share with your sibling.